you have been all over the Jane Street story. The fact that they have become so large that even in a year that they have surpassed Bank of America and Citigroup at their trading desks in terms of revenue. You went through bond documents. You followed a regulatory probe now. After what has been a fairly tumultuous 2025 so far for this company, how has the reputation been changing on Wall Street?
So that's what we're starting to see unfold. This is a firm that has been in the background. They're growing in prominence. They're making billions of dollars of revenue in the year. They doubled that revenue from 2023 to 2024. But now the way that they're doing that has been thrust into the open. So you have this probe out in India from the regulators that is releasing documents that minute by minute, hour by hour, they're showing not just the trades that this firm is inputting, but the amount of money that they're making doing it, the profit. And so you've seen across Wall Street, their competitors and just folks that are curious and want to kind of analyze how this firm is doing what they do, they're pouring through these documents. And it's such an unusual time because this is a firm that otherwise can just be, again, behind the scenes, behind a curtain, and operate in the way that they have been. They've been founded in 2000, so it's not as if this has happened overnight. They've evolved over time. What is different here is, as you bring up the reputation, this is something that has been the talk of the town, really, in the last 2 weeks.
So of the revelations, you have the Securities and Exchange Board of India having a 105-page order in addition to the bond documents you went through. What are some of the revelations that your sources are latching onto?
So they're looking at both the size of these trades, the concentration at certain times of the day. There's a lot of questions around how they're doing what they do at the scale that they do. So I think that is probably the key difference that folks are looking at, is the amount of money, not just that the firm is making, but that the capital that they have to work with, the amount of risk that they're able to take is much greater than their competitors. And the banks on Wall Street that are under regulation that they have to answer to also their shareholders. It's a completely different ballgame. But even amongst the market makers, the folks that are the peers of Jane Street, they're looking at this and they're saying, how is Jane operating and how is Jane market making that is a much different flavor than what they are. And so that's really like kind of the key questions that are being asked and analyzed across Wall Street.
When some of these things appear and their competitors can look at it, does it do anything to erode their edge? Do they need to change track on certain things now that you have some of these documents for view by the public?
I think that remains to be seen. That's something that I'm asking the street about. But Jane, in general, they are it's simplifying it, but they're providing a service. And so they can continue to operate and be a market maker. They're providing liquidity to the market. And also, just because this happened in India, they're across the globe. And each jurisdiction and each asset class that they're operating in, they're going to be a different player, but in many ways they're a key player just across the board. So many folks that I have talked to have said that they don't expect that Jane Street will pull back in a way that they're going to it's going to affect their business for the long term because of how prominent they've become, that strength is going to carry them through.